API calls to Xero. So in this example app, all these ones have set up, and get tenant is probably the simplest one because it get tenants doesn't need a tenant ID, whereas almost all other calls need a tenant ID. The first one is, so I'm going get tenants, I've set it up as an action, I'm passing the access token in the header, but remember we're only ever doing these from back-end workflows, so that these headers are never exposed on the front end. What I do is, because I've already authenticated, I can go into the auth table, I can grab an access token, I'll grab that, so that when we're connecting to Xero, we need an access token. We have a process for managing the access tokens. We come in here, I'm going to delete that token. Probably would be out of date. They expire every 25 minutes, 30 minutes. So I've got all these right, reinitialize the call, and here we go, and it's all good. And we can see the tenant ID is this value here, and I'll save it. So now this is initialized, and then we can add any number of these calls, but let's do this one. We'll post an invoice. Let's get an invoice, because I've got my I need to know tenant ID, get account codes. Let's get this one. So I'd already cut and pasted the tenant ID from the previous call. I'll put that in there. We need to know an account ID for that one. Okay, we've got the idea. This is absolutely just standard Bubble API connector stuff. Now, I like to include error responses and allow the workflow to continue. I like to do that because then you can check if the value was a success or not. If it's not a success when the call is made, what I'd suggest you do for sort of operational purposes is, if you go to get something, we go and get a tenant. This one here is simple. I would create a new Xero tenant only when the result of step 2 return an error is no. But when it did return an error, I would go and create a new thing, Xero log, only when result step 2 return an error is yes, and I don't know these fields, and I'd go there, a message. And now I've got some operational. Maybe I also want to send an email when this happens. And then now we've got some visibility and current user and the log, and I would also capture all of these. I would capture the status code, and I would also probably log the tenant. I would probably log the. Okay, so I've done this. So create a new log. Basically, I'd put some logging around this, and if anything ever errored, I would log it into this Xero error log. So over time, if things are going wrong, we'll be able to see in this Xero log table. But that's more to do with just designing robust workflows, best practice robust workflows. More point is just initializing the REST API, and basically it's really straightforward. You identify in here what you want, and make sure you understand the scope that's needed. So if I needed to access the finance API, I'll have to add the finance scope into my OAuth request. And if I said I want to look at items, I can see this is a get, and I can just go through the normal Bubble API connector stuff to connect to Xero. What's not clear in here is that, which it's not clear in here, but it's clear in here, is you need to pass the Xero tenant ID in the header. So if you copy these, that's a good approach to take.